Hey, good morning. It is Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? Good morning to you. I hope that you are off to an amazing start. And I hope that you are ready for the show today. And I have a question as we get things going from the jump, all right? How many yards will Ty Simpson throw for this season? Sound off right now inside the comment box. If you think he'll throw for over 2,500 yards, type A. If you think over 3,000, type B. Overseas. If you think he'll go overseas, type C's. For over 3,500, type C's, like the Caribbean seas. And type D if you think he'll throw for 4,000 yards. Oh, man. You know, as you kind of get the show started, you start to think about these numbers and, you know, what it could be. I mean, what's crazy to me, you know, is I kind of think back on past quarterbacks here at Alabama that I've covered. And I'm like, you know, okay, how many yards did they throw for? What did they do? And like, for example, Bryce Young, which is crazy, in 2022, he threw for 4,500 yards. Just think about that. Sometimes I feel like we forget how good Bryce Young was, right? 4,500 yards, one season. Crazy. And then you look at Mac Jones, right? Who is Mac Jones? Does anybody know Mike Jones? Who? Mike Jones? Who? Mac Jones threw for 4,500 yards too, right? 4,500 yards. It's crazy. Third nationally. That was the 2020 season. It kind of put, I mean, does Ty Simpson throw for 4,500 yards? I guess I could have put that an option. And Jeff points out that poor Bryce Young was always under duress. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't catch him. They called him the gingerbread man, right? Oh, Myron knows who Mike Jones is, right? Does anybody know the phone number? You ever tried to call the phone number? Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I would say definitely over 3,000, right? 281-330-8004. Yeah, I thought that the gingerbread man would have stuck with Bryce Young. Yeah, Jason, I think you're right, man. The more yards that he throws for, you know, the more successful Alabama season is. You know, Jason says, you know, you get 4,000 in, something special's going on. Bama DJs up in the house is like 4,300. Yeah, you get 4,300 yards, Alabama's obviously cooking. So, and as I always, you know, make a disclaimer, because we're talking about Ty Simpson doesn't mean that we don't like any other quarterbacks. We've kind of been led up to this point to believe that he's the starter, right? And I told you, I told you that they wouldn't take him to media days. I told you. I have a graphic of who's coming to media day. In fact, it's next Wednesday. And Byron, we're talking about real life, not the sticks. By the way, my next scheduled game, I was thinking about maybe streaming today against Georgia. Maybe I'll play, you know, 2 games today. I don't know. Let me know how you're feeling. I'm just, the Georgia game seems stressful to play. On the road. I got to be in the right mindset. I worked out this morning. I'm drained. I got the show. Got to give my best performance. You only have so much energy in life, right? I don't know. I guess if I'm going to have to vote right here, I'm going with C, 3,500. I'll give Ty 3,800 yards. And I haven't even thought about touchdowns. But 38, I'll say C, over C. Overseas for Ty Simpson. That's what I'm thinking. As always, morning segment powered by good friends at Sonic. West Memphis, Arkansas, Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 meet. Cruise by, tell them Bama Football on YouTube sent you. Tell them you're an Alabama football fan. Today's raffle, all right? So you got $10 to get in. We got a Derrick Henry montage of photos, all right? Up to 3 opportunities. And if you're not feeling that, right, then, and if you win the raffle, this retails from $119. All right, this is dope. It's 23 by 27. You can put it up in your Alabama room. Obviously, one of the best running backs ever in the game. But if you're not feeling that, you could let me know if you win the raffle that you want Ryan Williams jersey. This is actually from Team Fanatics, all right? And this retails for $139, all right? So you got to build them up, you know, in terms of the raffles. These are big ticket items that we're doing, you know, today. So ways to get into the raffle, Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash App Bama YouTube. So again, Ryan Williams jersey from Team Fanatics or the Derrick Henry 23 by 27 5 photo collage. All right. So whatever you win the raffle, you let me know. How to get in the raffle, Bama_YouTube, Cash App Bama YouTube. All right. So definitely jump in there, and we'll spin the pinwheel a couple days. The champ, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Good morning to you guys. We'll do some shout outs in just a minute. All right, so I'll come back to this periodically. All right, today I need your help, okay? Need your help. It's your show. So I want you guys and girls to put in your topics today, all right? So what do you think would be good show topics today? I'll put them out. We'll discuss them. See what you guys come up with. All right. So so how to list it, do topic, semicolon, and then whatever you think we should talk about. I'll throw it up on the board, make a graphic for it real quick, and then we'll discuss it. Cool. I'll take some calls today, probably too. In case you missed it yesterday, Alabama will be bringing these three to SEC Media Days, which is next Wednesday in Atlanta. All right. So you got Deontay Lawson, Tim Keenan, and Caden Proctor. I think we have to go back on the receipts, but I figured, I knew that they wouldn't bring Ty Simpson, right? They've been very sparing with quarterback interviews. I think they really want to drive up that quarterback competition, and they don't, even though they're like, hey, Ty Simpson's going to be the guy. If he's the guy, like the absolute guy, I think they would have brought him to SEC Media. That's just me. And look, I'm fully behind him, and that might rub people the wrong way. But if he's like truly the guy, like that you're going to have, like this is the quarterback position we're talking about. Bring him to SEC Media Days. I kind of don't understand why you're not taking him. Not my team, whatever, it's cool. The three that you could have so many other guys, you know, I mean, all these guys are great ambassadors for the program, but I like you're going to defense. Deontay Lawson, who I've been talking about for such a long time. And that's a damn good question, Jason. Is he 100% ready? I bet you that'd be the first question I ask him. Hey, Deontay Lawson. Hey, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Are you 100% healthy? And I guarantee you the word salad will be, well, we want to keep that close to the best. We're just, you know, happy to be here, and everybody is really good. And Florida State is going to be a really good football team. Right? That's what they'll say. Tim Keenan, love it. Love to see it. Great defensive player. Huge fan of his game. I always remember when he opened the door for me at the university one time, which I thought was really kind of him. And then Caden Proctor. I mean, you're bringing your big dog for the offensive line here, you know. So, and you're going to ask Caden Proctor everything. I'm going to tell you this about Media Day next week. Every single thing will be about the quarterback position because they're not bringing a quarterback there, right? Caden Proctor, how are the quarterbacks looking? How every single quarterback looks good. We'll follow every single quarterback. Any quarterback that they put, you know, for us to protect can get the job done. Ty Simpson looks good. Keelan Russell looks good. Austin Mack looks good. What's the difference between them? Austin Mack is tall. Keelan Russell's young. Ty Simpson's old. Who's the best? It doesn't matter. We don't even know. We just block and we just do our assignments. There's your SEC Media Days. Yeah, Daniel, what's up, man? Yeah, it was cool. Back when I used to go to the university, man, Tim Keenan was there. Opened up the door, was tight. Nice kid. All right, let's see what you guys came up with. All right. I'll write them down real quick, and then I'll put them on the screen. So let's see. If you have a topic idea for today's show, taking open topics. Let's see what you guys got. All right. Topic, Bruce says, who is our starting line, or who is our starting long snapper? Okay, I like that. And that's from Bruce Almighty. Just kidding. What's up, Bruce Watson? You ever seen Bruce Almighty? It was good. All right, let's see. Bernard asks, let's see. Bernard Phillips. What's up, Bernard? Says, if Bama loses 2 games or more, what will happen? Oh, the apocalypse. That's a short answer. And I will be doing something else for a career. What will happen? All right. Let's see. Jason asks, well, I don't think that's like a topic, right, Jason? Okay, Joe Kroom says, let's just take a minute and get this set up. Be patient. Remaining recruits that we're interested in. Okay. Okay, and that's from Joe Crooms. What's up, Joe? Okay. I'm cruising through the topics right now. So if you want a topic for us to discuss today, push topic, semicolon, and then what's on your mind. Hey, Chris G, I haven't had the time to do that, but I keep asking me. Jason asks, let's see what Jason asks. Jason Tolbert asks, any news on Noah Carter? All right. A lot of hype last recruiting cycle. Okay. Very talented wolf position player out of Arizona. Okay. Any other topics that you guys want on the show? So far we have, who is our starting long snapper? If Bama loses 2 games or more, what will happen? Remaining recruits, remaining targets, I'll put. Any news on Noah Carter? Anita Waters. What's up, Anita? Anita is asking about the special teams. Okay. And Jason is saying surprise flips. Okay. All right. I think these are pretty good for right now. I like it. All right, let me build out these graphics real quick. It'll take me 2 seconds. I'm a ninja at this stuff. Give me 1 second. I think that kind of starting out with the special teams, it's probably one of the, you're going to see like a commercial overlay, but I'll still be talking. I think that one of the bigger things that you'll see was and one of the bigger questions that I have with this particular team is, what does special teams look like now that you don't have Graham Nicholson, now that you don't have James Burnap, right? I mean, there's a lot of different guys that you don't have special teams wise. And I think the easy way for Alabama special teams is probably like kick returner, punt returner. I don't think that will be an issue at all, just because of the amount of talent that you have, right? And the amount of speed that you have. Like, that's never going to be a problem here, never going to be an issue here. But I do have my concerns, and I've been open about this, that when you lose all these guys, and I think you compound that with like the schedule, I think it's going to be really challenging. And it might be later in the season to when your special teams gets kind of the rhythm. All right. But we'll see how these guys do, particularly like on the road. But I got the questions set up, so here we go. Didn't take me long. I like the adrenaline rush of doing this like on the fly too. One second. All right. Good friends at Sonic. All right. So I think when you look to I think when you I'll start with the special teams, right? What your guys is like when you look at special teams for Alabama, it's a little bit nerve-wracking because you lose James Burnup. You lose Graham Nicholson as your kicker, right? You'll have a new snapper. You'll have a new holder. So, I mean, you have David Byrd coming in, and David Byrd will replace Nealon Hibbett, right? David Byrd, I believe he was at Cal. He is, I think we can get him on the screen here. So this is your long snapper right here. This dude has the stash. Love the stash. 6-foot junior, right? He's out of Arizona. He's a snapper, right? Spent 2 seasons at Cal, right? Perfect on all snapping duties across his time with the Golden Bears. Played in 12 games as a sophomore. Saw time in all 13 contests. One of the top long snappers in the class, coming out of Sandra Day O'Connor High School, a 4-year letterman. So this is your long snapper. And remember, hey, Ryan, what's up, dog? Thanks for the super, bro. I don't know. I mean, I'm just like you. I have no idea about this dude. I have no idea how talented he's going to be, but I know that Nealon Hibbett was a 4-year starter. And anytime that you replace your snapper, you know, it is a little bit of cause for concern. And I get it. Like, people are like, oh, special teams, you kind of, you know, tune out. If Alabama doesn't have a tightened up and an A+ special teams game, then they're in trouble, period, right? So David Byrd is your long snapper. I know, not the, you know, sexiest position to talk about, but critical, right? You talk to any type of coach, special teams is paramount, right? Second topic: if Bama loses 2 or more games, what will happen? I mean, you look at the schedule. I mean, you could definitely lose 2 games. You could definitely lose 3 games. It kind of matters which teams that you lose to, right? And when you lose the games. But I think that it's going to be ultra challenging for any team that wins the college football national championship going forward, at least in this college football format, to be undefeated, because the schedule is an absolute gauntlet. Like, this team is damn good. This team is, you know, one of the better teams that we've had, at least on paper, for a while, specifically on the defensive side. But I think what makes it tough is the fact that you're going on the road 4 different times in some very challenging environments. I know the first one, Alabama's already won that game, right? I mean, raise your hand inside the comment box if you already think mentally that Alabama's already beat Florida State by 4 touchdowns. And that may very well be the case, but the truth of the matter is that Florida State team is not the same Florida State team that won 2 games. None of the teams are the same anymore. Everything has changed because of NIL and the transfer portal, right? Mike Norvell is still a pretty good coach. So, you know, but I think if you ask any Alabama football fan, that the score is 42-10. Alabama beats the living you-know-what out of Florida State. Like, Florida State doesn't have a chance at all. That's kind of what we think, right? Hey, Chris, I appreciate the super, man. Thank you so much, brother. The Georgia game is going to be very challenging as well. If you lose to Florida, and so like if you lose two games, like what will happen? Well, like who do you lose to, right? If they somehow lose to Florida State, oh my God, they'll never recover. Seriously, even if that's the beginning of the season, it will be like it. I'm telling you, be complete chaos here. You'll be coming here, and I'll be, a storm chaser, or I'll be, I don't know what, who knows what I'll be doing on here. The channel pretty much tanked last year after they lost to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was good. If you lose to, Georgia, undefeated, I think, people are like, oh, it's Georgia on the road. It kind of depends on like who you lose to, right? If you lose 2 SEC games, you lose to South Carolina on the road, I think people give you a little bit of grace just because, like, Lenore Sellers played on the road. Those are tough games. You can't lose at home, period. Thank you, Todd. Me and Todd said the same thing. Can't lose at home, period. And that would be pretty notable if Coach Kalen DeBoer is able to go undefeated 2 consecutive years at home. That's impressive. So you can't lose at home. And then it kind of depends, like, if you lose and when you lose, who do you lose to? You can't lose, like, a terrible game would be like losing to Missouri on the road, right? Losing to Auburn, So, I don't know. Two more games. I think Alabama's certainly going to be the favorite in majority of the games that they play in, but they probably lose, right? One. You lose in the playoffs or whatever, you're like, damn, we made it to the playoffs, lost in the playoffs. You make it to the SEC championship game, that's another tough game. The SEC is, look, this team is damn good, but the SEC schedule is very, very challenging. Very, very challenging. John Glass, what's up, brother? Says, Kyle, great show. Roll Tide roll. In my opinion, I think they lose 2 games. Alabama by 3 touchdowns at Florida State. Yeah. All right. Remaining targets. We have a graphic somewhere back in here that talks about the remaining targets. Let's see if I can find it. Here are the guys Alabama's still high pointing, right? Tank Jones, I think, is the biggest one, period. You get him, I mean, I don't know. Todd, what do you think? If Alabama gets, this is specifically for Todd, if you keep everybody and you get Tank Jones and you add on, I don't know, Taden Kahawa and, I don't know, let's say Bear Fretwell. Okay, so let's say you get 3 out of 4 guys right here. So that would put Alabama at 22 with Tank Jones. Does Alabama, are they the number 1 recruiting class in the country at that point? I don't think they will be. That would be 6 commitments that are 5 stars, and I bet you they'd be like 3rd because they don't have enough 4 stars, right? So maybe it doesn't matter, but damn, like more 5 stars, the better. But those are your remaining targets right here. Wilson Zaire, he came here, he took an official visit. Taden Kahawa, I think he has a commitment date coming later on. He's a big quarterback out of Utah, 6'6", 235 pounds. Tank Jones, absolutely the best guy, period, in Alabama on the defensive side of the ball. And then Bear Fretwell, currently committed to Georgia Tech, who recently got an offer from Bama, right? If you guys missed it, today we have the raffle going on. So it's kind of like you get into the raffle and then you let me know, either the Derrick Henry 23 by 27 photo collage or a Ryan Williams jersey. And if you want another jersey, this is from Team Fanatics, but if you want something from Athlete's Thread, like another jersey, I'd be willing to work with you on that. So $10 to get in, 3 opportunities. Bama_YouTube, Cash App Bama YouTube. And Super Chats will get you in as well. So if you Super Chatted $10, I got you in the raffle. All right? And if you missed it at the beginning of the show, I asked a simple question. I know people bouncing in and out. But how many touchdowns will Ty Simpson throw for? How many yards will Ty Simpson throw for, rather? A, over 2,500. B, over 3,000. C, over 3,500. D, over 4,000. I think the consensus was, and what I voted for was C. I think I have like 3,700 yards or something like that. Todd, I don't know if you had missed this or anybody missed this, but these are the 3 that they're bringing to SEC Media Days next Wednesday. Deontay Lawson, Tim Keenan, Caden Proctor. Kind of segue into a couple other topics that, jump to mind, and then I'll go back to our topics that we came up with. And then I'll take some calls on the back end of the show. Let me get through a couple things that were kind of like college football high points. This is crazy. So there's an article right now in On3 that talks about a current general manager just gave an interview to On3. I know that Courtney Morgan was just talking to, Adam Gorney of On3. I don't know. They didn't list who said this, but they said that committed prospects right now, So we have no idea how much the committed prospects are making. Let me say that. But the committed prospects right now, the going rate is $20,000 to $25,000 for the upper tier prospects to stay committed. And then on August 1st, that's why people keep talking about August 1st. Hey, John Betts, we got you in the Cash App. August 1st is when the university can sit that player down and tell them, look, based off, the $16.5 million, this is what we can offer you. But $20,000 to $25,000 to get to kind of that point. That's it. I mean, that's the truth. So, I mean, you think that Tadarian Morgan just, was like, damn, I'm an Alabama football fan, and I love, everything that Alabama. This is what these guys are getting. We don't know for sure, but I mean, I don't think these guys are coming for free. That's the whole thing. Is I think when Greg Byrne told everybody that Alabama was broke, I think the Alabama football fan base got together and just raised, I don't know, however many millions it was to take care of that problem. Yesterday at Big 12 Media Days, Scott Frost, who's now the football coach at Central Florida, he said this: ultimately, games are settled on the field. We get that, right? But Frost also said Tuesday at SEC Media Days, but long before that, right now, they're influenced by what's in bank accounts. That's the game that we've designed it to be, period. And Alabama's going to always have more money than Central Florida. Alabama's always going to have more money than most of the programs, and that's it. Iowa State head football coach Matt Campbell, right? They lost a prospect to Alabama quarterback, right? I'd say probably our top 20 guys took a pay cut to come back to Iowa State. That's wild. A lot of those guys had some really good opportunities. You got to pay them, man. That's why I think retention is going to be gigantic, right? Being able to retain your players. Kenny Dillingham, I love this coach, by the way. Arizona State's football coach, right? What we did last year is absolutely irrelevant. What happens this year? 100%. That's what great teams do. They restart. I love who else? Is there anyone else that likes this guy? I love this guy. He's like a young rattlesnake. He hasn't been conformed to word salad yet. That means that he hasn't really coached at a gigantic program. Sometimes when you start coaching at a gigantic program, you can be controlled by everybody, right? The board, the boosters. You can't really say what you want to say. That's why I low key like the position that I have, because I don't have, somebody breathing down my neck telling me what I can and can't say. If the team isn't good, I'm gonna tell you that the team isn't good. The players aren't performing, I'm gonna talk about them. Right? These guys are pros now. They're like Coach Saban used to say, hey, these are just student athletes. No, they're not. That was at that point in time. They are professional athletes right now. But players driving around a Maybach and he's not, performing to a high level, we have every single right to talk about that player and be like, he's not cutting it. Period. This guy is a young rattlesnake. He's not afraid to like say how he feels. Hopefully that doesn't change if he gets a bigger opportunity and then people start controlling him. Jody, what's up? That's a damn good point. You know, their quarterback's really good though too. I love Sam Levitt. He's a good quarterback. But Scatterbo was a man. I wish Scatterbo was such a beast, right? And you know, they played Texas down to the wire too, right? 39-31 in the college football playoffs. Yeah, Crimson. See, you like that too. I do too. Ryan asked a question. With this kind of money going to recruits, they should sign contracts. Well, they'll start to sign stuff, or they could, you know, in December, but they can be showed what it actually looks like in payment form from the new house settlement on August 1st. What's up, DeChamp? I don't know if I've seen you up in here, man, but it's really good to have you. I like your avatar. Is that Bowser? Hey, Chris, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Let me go back and finish out some of our topics, and then I'll take some calls again. To get into the raffle, Ryan Williams jersey, or any of the jerseys. This is from Team Fanatics, but Athletes Thread has jerseys too. So if you do win the raffle and you're like, hey, Kyle, what do you think about getting me a Keelan Russell? I'll work with you on that. Or, you know, Bray Hubbard or any of the other athletes. The other option is you could be like, hey, Kyle, I want the Derrick Henry, Alabama Crimson Tide Fanatics, authentic framed, and that's what I'll get to you. All right? So that's how the raffle's working this run. $10 to get in, up to 3 opportunities, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. All right, finish out some of our questions. What else we have? Sorry, that's on auto spin. Hey, stop it. So the last 2 questions down here. Anita asked about special teams overall, and I talked about the new long snapper, but I do have my concerns. Who else is concerned? Raise your hand inside the comment box that maybe you're not concerned about it, but you're questioning the special teams. New kicker? That's a lot. New punter? What's up, KT Lloyd? Good to see you, bro. Rory McElroy, what's going on, man? So, I mean, I would imagine that the kicker is fine. Coach Caitlin DeBoer said that Connor Talty didn't miss a field goal, that he looks really good. And then your punter, Alex Osproff, I guess. Is that who's slated to be the punter? I mean, punt returner, obviously put Jalen Mbakwe back there, Ryan Williams or Cole Adams. That's fine. Kick returner, the same. Not worried about that. The where I get worried is when the special teams hasn't played in a big game atmosphere, and you have like a 43-yard. I'm telling you that video game, it's hard kicking a field goal in this game. With that, imagine being in real life. And then surprise flips here at the end. I don't know, man. I don't know if there's going to be like a surprise flip to Bama. I mean, right now you get, you heat up in the summertime. You got to keep these guys all the way to December. I wouldn't roll out a flip. I just don't know who would flip. What do you think, Todd? Or Dan Caraway inside the comment box. Here, our recruiting guys. There'll be a flip, probably. Hopefully it's not from Alabama, somewhere else. That happens. We won't freak out if it does happen. I don't know. Derek Meadows was definitely a surprise last year. He was one of the late cats to sign, right? And a hell of an addition, man. All right, I'm gonna put the call-in line on the screen. Call in. Let's talk some Alabama football, and it's really like, we're getting to SEC Media Days. It's your show, so you want to talk about recruiting, you want to talk about team, you have questions, hit me up one more time before I go to the call-in line. Today's raffle, Ryan Williams jersey or the Derrick Henry gear. Bama_YouTube or Cash App Bama YouTube. If you're new to the show and you're like, what's the number? Here's the number right here. Okay. So we'll let the phone lines heat up. Give me 1 second. And you guys can call in. All right. And I'll take them. I got a couple calls already lined up. Oh, we got Chris from New Jersey. That's what's up. Okay. Give me 1 second. And I appreciate you guys giving me grace. It's like I do all the editing, so I have like a million screens going up and down and all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. All right. Chris from New Jersey, let's do it, bro.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Good to hear from you, bro. Yeah, welcome on
brother.
in, man.
Happy summer. Happy summer.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. There's some real interesting stuff that's going with my alma mater, Rutgers, and this plays into like what's going on with Bama. So
wait, but before we start, Chris.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is what I've been doing for the call-in shows is I've been putting the cities, where people calling from on the screen. So what city are you in? I mean, can you divulge that information? I know you're in waste management up there.
Yeah, no, I'm in Montclair, New Jersey, so it's 12 miles outside of Manhattan.
Okay, Montclair, New Jersey. Okay. All right, yeah, and you guys don't have to tell me your your GPS coordinates, but
up here, I'll take them out for lunch or dinner. Come on, anybody that's up in New Jersey, let me know.
All right, let's see what Montclair has to offer. Ooh, this looks nice. I'm liking this. Yeah. Okay, Chris, go ahead, man.
I'm what is known as full-blown New Jersey. I was born here. I live here, and I went to Rutgers, which is in New Jersey. So, but trust me, I want to escape here too, Kyle.
Yeah, I got you, man. Okay, come with it, man.
That's me. That's Montclair, New Jersey, right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell the Visitors and Convention Bureau to sponsor the show.
That's funny. Yeah, there's a restaurant. If you're ever up here, Kyle, I'll take you that. Go back one picture. That there's a restaurant it's called the High Lawn, and it overlooks New York City.
Let's see which one.
Yeah, see that Montclair? That's the Montclair Art Museum. I got married in there. My wedding.
You got married in this museum?
Well, I got married in the church, but then the wedding reception was in that museum.
Wow,
that was a long time ago. Yes, Ephraim, I'm not in the mafia. Yeah, that's funny, Kyle. That's funny. So everybody knows where I'm from now.
Yeah, you got it, man. So now we'll be able to be like, yeah, you're from, Montclair. So I got you, man.
Max, Uncle Junior. I have hair, Max. I have hair. So anyway, so something interesting, Kyle, and I've been meaning to call you, but the world's been crazy. So I don't know if you knew what happened with Rutgers basketball last year. They got the number 1 and the number 3 recruit in the nation in basketball.
Okay.
They were number 1 in recruiting above Duke, right?
Okay.
First time in Rutgers history, right?
All right.
And because, Rutgers, people don't realize, first of all, there's 60,000 kids in the school. It's one of the wealthiest schools in America. And one is, metropolitan area, but another thing is we just have so many people, right? And there's more. We're higher ranked in wealth than a bunch of Ivy League schools, but it has to do with how many of us. But we give nothing to Rutgers. I'll say this: I give nothing to Rutgers, and everybody has their own reasons. All right, so I'm not going to get into mine, but generally it's called the RU screw, Kyle. So somehow, some way down the road, RU screwed you. So no one gives any money. But last year, evidently, some very, very wealthy donors ponied up and gave a lot of money so that we could sign these number 1 and number 3 basketball recruits. And then the basketball program had these guys, and and you look, Big Cliff went from Rutgers down to Bama, right? I mean, he was out, right? And they didn't even make the NIT, right? And so the two guys, you see, they got drafted in the top 5 of the NBA draft. They're gone.
Yep.
One, as they say, one and done. So, and I've already heard from a guy that I know that's a big Rutgers guy, and he said that already the spigot for the money is closed already. People are like, we gave you all this money. What'd you do with it? So so notice all of a sudden, like there's a lot of schools out there that are like, where's the money?
Yeah.
Because look, A&M gave an ocean of money, way more than Bama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Way, and where'd all the money go, Kyle? So I'm telling you right now, if you people give money, they expect results, and if you don't get the results, people are like, well, I'll get you next year. I mean, so I think that's why I'm thinking like the Bama money. When you and I have talked about this like a year ago, that Bama, when they signed Ryan Williams, what did I say, Kyle? I talked to you that day. I was like, my freak out's over, and Bama has the money right. So whatever's going on, Courtney Morgan is a hero. We need a statue of him.
Yep.
That Bama's got the money right. And listen, this is the world we live in. I'm not going to complain about it. We can complain about it all we want, but this is the world. You've got to. And what was Saban great about doing? Always adapting. So Bama's adapting. This is my 18th year of being a Bama fan, so it's not like I'm jumping on the wagon here. So, I'll tell you one thing is, fan bases get fickle. Look at like the Giants. Look at the not even the Giants. We haven't been in the Super Bowl, but look at the fan base of like the Patriots. Kyle, those people have turned, man.
Yeah.
They forgot that like they got 6 Super Bowls out of what's his face, Brady, and look how fast they turned. And so I'm telling you, this is so all these things add up to one thing. Bama is we're going up. We're on the ascending part of the mountain. So I'm excited, Kyle. And when's practice, Kyle? When's the first day? It's got to be inside a month now, right?
Yeah. We're probably inching close to it. So they haven't released like when the practice date will be, but that's like a big, unveiling. So we'll find out, man. But good to hear from you, Chris. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in.
Kyle,
Montclair looks amazing, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
There's the Montclair Art Museum you're showing.
Yeah. I like
it. And Kyle, I want as we get closer, I'm coming to Tuscaloosa this year.
Okay.
Everybody knows. I don't know what game yet, so if anybody, we all got to meet up or go to like, what's that, Lucky's Barbecue or something barbecue? Or,
Dreamland.
Dreamland. Got to go to Dreamland, and we all want to meet you, and keep up the great work, Kyle. Thank you. And my best to you, my best to the undefeated, and we will talk soon, my brother.
All right, man. Cool. Roll Tide to you. All right, that was Chris out in Montclair, New Jersey. Looks like a beautiful place. All right, 256, let's do it. I think we lost our 256. Is this Angel calling back?
Yes.
Angel, what's up, man? Hey,
yeah.
256. Call back. I don't know what happened to you. Sorry, Angel. You were supposed to be the number 2 hitter, but you're at the plate, man. So, Angel calling from Pigeon Forge. What's up, bro? Good to hear from you, man.
Good. So from yesterday, what I was saying yesterday about Ty Simpson, you gotta get credit to these guys that stayed. Like it's a different world now in NIL probably for the worst, but. I mean, I think realistically, Alabama is the best team right now because we didn't have any players leave because you know how teams struggle like when they get lose a player. Look at BYU for instance. Their senior quarterback, they lost him because of an honor code that he supposedly he had an incident with this girl or whatever and all that, and it happened like 2 seasons ago, and this was a while back, and then he all of a sudden 7-game suspension, he's gone. And that could ruin their season. But because did you hear about that, right? With the BYU quarterback?
Yeah, I didn't read too. I didn't read too much into it. Yeah, but it sounded wild.
Yeah, yeah. Like you can see all these teams now, like they're all struggling to get a player. Like Alabama, we're doing pretty good now because we kept all of our players. Because right now, like Auburn, like they're recruiting in the '90s. Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
crazy. That's just like Alabama is in the best place right now to win a championship this year because Ohio State, honestly, they're going to take a dip. Same thing with something with Michigan, all these other cats. Like Bama right now is primed for the best season because we're due for a season because last year was not it. Last year was a disappointment. I know that the fan base of Alabama was like angry at Coach DeBoer, rightfully so, because you lose to Vanderbilt.
Mm.
I mean, because you didn't let that game slip away. Oklahoma, especially, like Oklahoma didn't have nothing to lose, and they beat Bama and ruined our season. So they and South Carolina too. They almost could have won, but you know, hopefully our team this year does not, make boneheaded mistakes. Because that Georgia game last year really did, mess with Bama a little bit and the documentaries and all that. But honestly, Alabama, they're gonna make the playoffs. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're gonna make the playoffs. I'm not about the SEC championship game. We might lose that game this year to maybe Texas. Because honestly, it's wide open. Like
Mm.
this whole NIL changed the landscape of college football, and it's just kind of crazy to me because we got the Pac-12 coming back next year, and I'm not sure you heard the news about Texas State. They're going to join the Pac-12 next year. I'm not sure you read anything about that, but I'm telling you, man, conference realignment is going to be crazy in the next few years. You
Yeah.
see Bama and the Big Ten, ACC merge into one conference. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Yeah. The
It might happen.
the super
Yeah,
league. Yeah. Huh.
it's going to happen, and everyone else is feeding scraps. But anyway, Kyle, roll tide to you.
All right.
Good
Thanks,
thing I want
brother.
to talk to
Yeah.
you today. Just roll tide, man.
All right, man. Take it easy, Angel. Thanks for calling in, brother.
See ya.
All right, man.
Yeah, you calling in, man. Thank you.
All right. 334. Let's do it. All right. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Man, this coach from Calera, man. I ain't heard from you in a year or two.
Did you say it's Coach?
Yeah, this coach from Calera. Man, I used to call you a while back.
Yeah, man. It's been a minute, man. It's good to hear from you, bro. You doing
I know,
okay?
Yeah, man, I got a new job. Yeah, I got a new job. I'm in kind of high school.
Hey, Coach, you're kind of cutting out, man. Let's try it again.
Oh, yeah, I said I started being a head football coach at a school called Coosa now.
Okay.
I've been kind of busy lately, man.
All right. Well, I got Calera up on the board. They showed like a thing of a train. They're showing Limestone Park. They're showing the football stadium, Oliver Park, I guess. I don't know where this is. But anyways, Coach, man, come with it, man. Good to hear from you, man. Let's get it. Hopefully the connection holds. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, man. I've been watching your updates on the new college football 26. I'm about to get your tag so we can play each other one time.
Okay. I was thinking of streaming today against Georgia. I'm just, it's a big game. I need to be mentally right before I go into that game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Talking about football right now, because I ain't been keeping up with the show. I watched it a couple of times last week. Yeah, man, recruiting been really good for Alabama. So, where I coach at, the big kid, Sedarian Morgan, his school like 20 minutes from my school.
Mm.
And so I have a relationship with that kid. But I've been knowing all along he was coming to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
He was always Alabama committed. It just, you had to keep the suspense going, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He was always going to Alabama. There was never a question. Then yesterday, we did a 7-on-7 against Wadley High School. Wadley got a kid, he like 6'4", like 220. He's like a 4-star prospect. He's like a running back, linebacker. I heard we ain't talking much about that kid, but he's a 4-star prospect. He told me yesterday that it's between Miami and Alabama.
Oh, wow.
I was shocked that he actually told me that.
Yeah.
He told me, he said, Coach, both of them putting a good package together. And I asked him, I said, how is Alabama able to get those 5-stars? I know 5-stars come with a price tag.
Yeah.
With us coaches knowing, and I got some kids that get recruited. He was like, he don't know. But he said they kind of got them package together. And right now, it's dead. He says dead even between Alabama and Miami right now.
What school is he out of, Coach?
He's at Wadley High School. They won the 1A state championship in Alabama last year.
All right.
They won the 1A state championship. He played running back and middle linebacker. He looked beautiful. He looked just like Darren Morgan. He's 6'4", 220.
God,
He said, "Bama."
man, that's wild.
Yeah, he said that he said Bama. He's going to be a linebacker at Bama.
Hey.
Because last year in the state championship game, I think he rushed like 300 yards.
Hey,
Todd. Football.
Todd, inside the comment box, can you do the detailed research of Dan Caraway? Can we do the? Can we see who the kid is? Bring him up. Man, good info, Coach. Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah. He's a stud. When I say he's a stud, he's one of the kids that's a diamond in the rough. You have to get him. I see him firsthand because I know my team. We beat them in the 7-on-7, but just seeing him at middle linebacker is insane for a kid at a 1A school to be that big. And he looked like a grown man. His face looked rough. He got full facial hair. And I'm 6 feet myself.
No, I saw. You know what?
Like,
but no, people are looking a lot older. I saw a clip yesterday on Instagram. Did you guys see this? It was Kevin Durant's AAU basketball team. Who saw this? The kids had I don't know if this was like stickers. They were 8 years old. It looked like they had tats on. Did anyone see this? It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And they were balling out and they had like tats and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, Coach, let's wrap it up because I got to get to my next caller, man. But make one more point, bro.
I got. Oh yeah, like I said, I've been watching Alabama ball. I think Bama gonna be a better football team this year. It's probably going to the camp and watching them. The attitude is much different. It's not much joking and the crapping around. Like last year, it's more fun. They were trying to be like everybody else. But this year, it seemed more. I said it seemed more attitude in this about. And I'm watching. They talking about Texas with Arch Manning. I'm like, what's wrong with Ty Simpson? I mean, they got about the same amount of playing time. Ty Simpson could be a good quarterback. Again, I know the name Manning. They'll assume he's gonna be so much better. But I still think Bama gonna be strong in the trenches. You know, the football games are won in the trenches.
Yeah.
And I really think Bama gonna have a good football team this year. Like Carl before me said, they're gonna lose the SEC championship game. People saying that because Arch Manning's name. He has not proven a thing. Against Georgia, he didn't do nothing either game. And I don't know how he do against great competition because he played at a smaller school.
Yeah.
So we're gonna actually see against Ohio State how really good Arch Manning is. And I appreciate you taking my call, man.
No doubt, Coach. Yeah, take it easy, brother. All right. You know, looking at these photos of Calera, it says there's a lot of train tracks, right? It said the Heart of Dixie. You guys see this? Can you see this? Look, there's another train right here. Heart of Dixie Railroad Museum. All right, let's put that. We got to go check that out. Corbin Farms Winery. That looks legit. All right, yeah, a little off-roading, sure. Yeah, I'll do it. Limestone Park looks nice. Okay, 256, let's do it. Hey, thanks for calling. Who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Roll Tide Prods from Huntsville, Alabama.
All right, what's up, Roll Tide Probs? Good to see you, brother. Huntsville, dude, we got to get it on the map, man. Come with it. Welcome to the show, bro.
I was just going to say, talk about the schedule. I could see Bama realistically losing like 2 games, but any more than that, and I think it's just kind of going downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you this, and I asked this, I think, earlier in the week. What do you think the hardest games for Alabama will be?
I think at South Carolina is going to be really tough because Lenore Sellers is a dang good athlete. And Georgia is going to be tough. I think those are the 2 toughest ones.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a chance to play against South Carolina yet on the game, but I would imagine Lenore Sellers. I think they even have a wide receiver who's like a 99, like a 6'4" wide receiver. So, look, South Carolina, I think that they're very underrated, like even in real life. I think Lenore Sellers is underrated in real life. That's going to be a challenging game, I would imagine. It's in the evening time. Man, Huntsville, I love Huntsville. Look, I went down there one time, and I went to this downtown area. You know how you have like the lake and it's kind of like a river, and then it like kind of goes into that lake. This is nice. Huntsville's a amazing place. You like living there, Roll Tide Props?
Yeah, it's great. So when Alabama, the basketball team, played a preseason game here,
Yeah.
and they were walking around the park, and I actually got to meet them. It was pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're probably taller than you. Yeah. My daughter met a couple of the players as well. It's like, I see some of the players around town. It's like a basketball player is much different than a football player, right? A guy who's like 6'10", 7 foot, they really stand out. Other than the schedule, what else is on your mind, man?
Nothing really much. Just calling in, saying what's up to everybody.
That's good, man. Well, we got SEC Media Days next week. There'll be, much more to talk about, bro. So I appreciate you calling in, man. I appreciate you being always inside the chat box, man. And hit me up anytime, bro. Good to talk to you.
All right, thanks.
All right, man. Yep. That was the 256 that got disconnected. Now we go 737. All right, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hello, Kyle. This is Mike in Austin.
Mike in Austin. Oh, we got to put Austin on the board. Oh, love it. This should be good. Mike, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Not much. Been doing okay. Finally got a day off. Been working like 2 weeks straight, so finally got a day off. So I'm just kicking back listening to your show. But it's definitely, we're less than 2 months to kick off, and I think it's going to be a good season. But to answer your question, man, I don't really think a whole lot of people are doubting Alabama. But what I do think is they're just kicking us while we're down. We had a bad year and lost to 3 teams. We're probably better than Michigan or where we're probably better than Oklahoma and definitely better than Vanderbilt. So there were 3 teams that we really should have won, but for some reason, I guess lack of team identity or whatever, we lost them 3 games. So, I mean, I don't hear a whole lot of doubters, but what I hear is just more people taking the opportunity to kick us while we're down a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I think, people felt that, they had kind of, infiltrated, the castle and that the walls were going to fall down, all this stuff. But I think, good recruiting, I think that sends a clear message that things are really organized here, right? And as soon as you start winning on the field, that'll send another message as well. But look, it's rare. People in college football that aren't Alabama football fans, they more than likely hate Alabama because they have PTSD from what Coach Saban did to them. Think about it. This was a long time, too. This was like 10 years of consecutive beatdowns. Every once in a while, you get a lucky punch in there. But, can you imagine being a Tennessee fan? Can you imagine being an Arkansas fan? And having to deal with Coach Saban over that long period of time. So, yeah, this was kind of their celebration, this last year. But things at Alabama are, you could see them getting back onto the rails, and that's why it's so imperative that they have such a strong season this year so it can kind of, quiet the naysayers or whatever. What else you got, Mike?
Well, one thing about the SEC, which we all know this, you got so many good sleeper teams in the SEC. Like I see Alabama picked anywhere between number 3, which I think I'll take number 3 behind Georgia and Texas. But Texas has a lot of questions on the offensive line and defensive line. And in the SEC, you got to have good line play. You're not going to make it. So, but other than the 3, Texas, Georgia, and Alabama, you got so many other sleeper teams like LSU and Texas A&M, and who knows what Oklahoma's going to be like now they have a new quarterback and a new offensive coordinator. So it's really hard to it's going to be almost impossible for an SEC team to make it through unscathed. But I agree with the last caller. We're probably going to be a 2-loss team, but still make it to the playoffs. Hopefully just a 1-loss team, but still make it to the playoffs is the key, and make it, and then restarting your season and making it through the playoffs. But with the recruiting coming in, the recruiting is strong, Bama Nation is strong, and it's just I think the future is bright for us. But I think last year we suffered from 2 major things. One was a complete piecemeal defensive back and defense for the most part, and an overall team lack of identity. And Milroe, love him. We all wish him the best, but he had 2 plays. He had drop back and run or a 40-yard desperation bomb. You can't live off that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just, but it's going to be a good year. But I think the future is bright. And just like you said, these teams like Texas spent 10 years looking up to Baylor. Tennessee's been wandering the desert for 15 years. They're finally getting a chance to kick us a little bit. So there's more kicking going on than actually doubting. Because if you listen to most people that are sensible, reasonable college football fans, they know what DeBoer can do, and they know who Bama is. They see our players. They see our 5 stars lined up on the field.
Yep.
We had a good recruiting class last year. So we just got to stay strong, look to the future. We got to beat Florida State and get started off right. We got to beat Florida State. But yeah, it's going to be a good year, I think, Kyle. Playoff bound. I definitely see us getting to the playoffs. But like I mentioned, the SEC is so tough and so many sleeper teams
100%.
that we'll see how it plays out. You know?
Yeah. Good stuff, Mike. I appreciate the call, man. Always good to chat with you from Austin, bro.
Absolutely, man. You take care, Kyle.
All right, man. You too. We'll take one more call. We got an 813. I think it's my boy Case out in Tampa. Let's see. Case, that you?
You got it. It's Case from Tampa, baby.
Dude, I'm getting good at these area codes, dude. I got codes. I got codes.
Hey, you'll get back into the groove of it when we're back in the regular season.
Man,
We're doing the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
You had it in the middle of the season there. You had it for a while. You were getting everybody.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Out of there.
I think like Angel got like a new phone number or something like that, and then that rattled me. Like from Pigeon Forge, it was
It threw you off.
Something happened, and then the 813 it was close to something else, and I don't know. But yeah,
I think we had another 813. Someone, I forget his name, but he's from St. Pete, and yeah, that's right next to Tampa, man. I forget who.
Oh yeah. We have a couple. I think that's Marcus. Yeah, I think Marcus is out there. He's in St. Pete. Yeah, when I go down there, man, we need to have a little setup. Have some smoked fish. You know,
man.
I don't know.
We got plenty of food, plenty of beaches, and plenty of golf courses.
That's right. So so time out real quick. So Coach says that the kid's name is Jaquez Wilkes. So that's who we're looking up. All right. So thanks, Coach. I appreciate the super chat, by the way, too. All right. So we got Case. We took, I guess, what airline would go from Austin to Tampa? This would be easy. I guess, could we just pop on?
American.
Yeah. Okay. We're taking American Airlines down, but we got stuck on the tarmac for 30 minutes because Auburn fan is being arrested. Just kidding. All right.
They're upset because they're relegated to D2 and they can't recruit anybody. And Kentucky recruits better than them. That's why I would crash out too.
All right.
So
okay, man.
Let me hit on this, Kyle.
Yeah.
I got a couple of things. I've got, because the calls have been great, and it's made me add on to my points here from the last call with Mike. But he's right. There aren't a lot of people doubting. It's the opposite, and we haven't had it in a couple. We had it at the beginning of our season last year, but then it teetered away. It's rat poison, Kyle. Look at the game, NCAA. We're the number one team in the game.
Yeah.
That already gets in the kids' heads that, hey, look, they think we're the best. I mean, we're already going to see rat poison develop, especially if we start off strong. If we make it to Georgia and beat Georgia, they're going to think that this is the best team ever, that nobody can beat them. This is the number one rat poison that Nick Saban always talked about.
Yes.
So just wait and see. And the other thing, too, the last caller, he's too genuine about he's too giving, too charitable to LSU. What has Brian Kelly done besides beat Nick Saban one time? He won a national championship at the D2 level with Grand Canyon. What has he done? He's 0-3 in the playoff. I don't understand the LSU hype. I know they're hard to play. We're not even playing them at Death Valley. What has he done? He's done nothing.
You know, I was kind of thinking about
Kelly
what Mike was saying too, and I was thinking about SEC sleepers. You know, one team that nobody's really talking about seems like Ole Miss, right? Like nobody's talking about them. I think their quarterback could be pretty good. They got some good weapons. Of course, their coach, Lane Kiffin. Kind of the love affair that we seem to have with him. I don't know. It seems like that could be a sleeper team for me, but I think he brings up a really good point. And depending on if Tennessee can get organized with their quarterback, I mean, they've been good under Josh Heupel, period. I would have never thought that he would be the right coach for them. I thought Jeremy Pruitt would, but Josh Heupel is the guy. By the way, I love Tampa so much. They're showing Busch Gardens right now. There's the Florida Aquarium. What else we got? The Zoo Tampa.
You gotta go to a Lightning game, man.
Yeah, never been. Yeah, I bet that would be amazing. And I guess
and you know what? I'm a bad luck charm. Every time I go to a Lightning game, we get absolutely smothered.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I stopped going because every time I go to one, we lose.
Yeah. Well, but, yeah, Tampa's
let me
Tampa's
touch on this too, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
On NCAA, you were talking about and you're 100% right. I've been playing it too. For a couple things, the running backs feel like slugs besides AK Deer. They run extremely slow.
Yep.
The playbook is extremely dry.
Yep.
There's only like a couple plays that I like. What you got to do is you got to create a playbook. You can put up to 500 plays in it, and you can't set it as your default, but you have to like manually select it every game to go to your custom playbook. So that's what you should do. Is whenever you get
do you have to do that during the game?
Just test some plays out. Yeah, you have to do it every like so when you click play and you go to your next opponent, you go to the bottom where it says playbook and it will be Alabama. You just switch it to your custom one. Yeah, it unfortunately you can't set it as your default. I don't think you can at least. But that's what I did because I just picked all my favorite plays and I use those. I feed jam, but no,
yeah, I don't know. And look, I'm probably gonna stream. Maybe I'm thinking 12 p.m. I'll so stay notified because I got George up next. I'm thinking about changing the playbook. I don't know how people feel about that. Like, if they just want me to play with that playbook, it kind of seems like I'll be playing, punching with my hand open or something like that. I want a little bit more weaponry if I'm going to make a real run at it. And Dan said something inside the comment box. He said that he saw two turtles doing the nasty at Busch Gardens. You know what? This is absolutely hilarious because the last time that I was in Tampa too, I was at the aquarium with my kids, and two turtles were getting it going, and it was like people,
tropical weather.
Yeah, I guess, man. So it was the summertime, whatever. So turtles be turtles, man. But yeah, I appreciate the case. Thanks so much for.
They say that the weather does that to turtles, and the tequila will do it to you.
I guess, man. Yeah, stay safe out there. Appreciate the case. Thanks for dropping in, bro.
Take care.
All right. Yeah, Case calling in from Tampa. Give me one. Yeah, so Tampa, Florida, place to be. I appreciate you guys rocking with me today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Been a fun one. I appreciate it. And, SEC Media Days next week. Taking calls. It was fun. I appreciate it. I love the calls. And, I love to travel so much, so this kind of like gets me on my travel vibe when people call from all over. I don't care if it's Calera. I don't care if it's Tampa. I don't care if it's Montclair, New Jersey. You guys call in the show, and let's talk some Alabama football. I appreciate you guys supporting, whether you guys hit us with the Super Chat or jumped into the raffle. Remember, the raffle is open. We'll spin it in here in a couple days. I really appreciate you guys continuing to follow as we get closer to the college football season. Stay blessed. Stay where your feet are at. Remember, as news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Next Wednesday, Alabama in Atlanta, SEC Media Days. It's time to get cranked up for the college football season. Oh, love this right here. Look at this elephant. Hey, we end on an elephant, right? Let's go back here. Look, this is only fitting. How we do this? Can we pause this? Look, an elephant to end the show? Yeah, okay. That's good karma. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube.